Welcome to the Socialize strategy, coming to you live from Las Vegas in a hotel room. And I will tell you that I carried my big microphone for this one. And the main reason is once I decide I'm not packing in a carry-on, then I like to say everything but the kitchen sink goes in the suitcase because I like to have my options. So I figured, well, I have room. So in goes my good microphone. Julie and I recorded our Yours Truly podcast together with our microphones in this hotel room this week. So once I'm in, I'm in. And I'd like to kick off with first the unsponsored by sequence. And because I'm here for this client, I'm going to just introduce the Hangry Pets. This is why I'm here. I am creating licensing expo content for them. So I am having a lot of fun with these guys, just romping around and doing my thing and meeting people, networking. It's been a riot and I do enjoy them. So Hangry Pets is the first unsponsored by post today. The second one I want to just regroup on is the Halara jeans real quick because I accidentally ordered the same pair again when I was trying to order a different style. So I got my different style, but I got a same pair of the ones I already have. And I thought, oh, I'll bring them because Julie will probably love them. Guess what? I have influenced my daughter. She is now a proud owner of the Halara wider leg jeans. That's her style. And she doesn't usually wear low rise, but she put them on and she fell in love with the fabric. And I'm telling you, she thought it was going to be hype, and so she's been holding off, and now she is converted. So we are now both Halara girls. So the second unsponsored buy today is the Halara jeans again. And then the third unsponsored buy is my small rig tripod. And I'm using one of them right now, so I can't show you that one. But this is the other one. This one fits in my purse. This is the mini version. And what I have that I'm using to record right now is the more maxi version. What I love about the maxi version is that the way it opens on the bottom, it's got a button. So when you pop it, you just pop it on the ground and then it tripod opens. And I kind of love that because it's really a cool little thing I can do when I'm like, I'm a content creator, pop, and then my tripod pops open. So I love that one, and I got that one in white. But this is a great brand. So if you don't know about the Small Rig brand, there's lots of tripod options that work really, really well. They each have something, like one thing I don't like about them. I'm going to say honestly, I always like to give you an honest review. The one thing I don't like about the bigger one, the white one, is that I can't tilt the camera. So here, if this is my camera, I can't seem to tilt it like this when it's in vertical mode. It can go this way, and in horizontal mode, you can do this. But in vertical mode, for some reason, you can't tilt. And I don't like that. But the smaller one will allow you to tilt in vertical mode. I don't understand. They should fix that so that it works for the big one too. So if you are a person who likes to angle your vertical like this, it only goes up and down. It doesn't angle, and it's a little frustrating. So that is very limiting. I just want to be completely transparent. That's that. Okay, those are my unsponsored buys for today. And I love any feedback on if you enjoy the unsponsored buys and if you are on board with anything that I've mentioned, please do respond in a comment or respond to the email, whatever. I love to hear about it. All right, let's talk about today's subject. And I find this funny because Julie picked the subject for today, but I had saved a video that I saw on TikTok that I told her I want to actually do a newsletter about it. And when I opened up the newsletter, she had already written the same topic. So we were both on the same track about what the subject of the newsletter should be. So that's karma. And I'm going to share with you that video that I saw that spurred me to want to also talk about this. And the subject is low views. And if low views get you down, how to reframe your mindset. And first of all, why they shouldn't get you down. But if they do, you just can't help yourself. You're just bummed out and you feel like you're putting in all this work and you're spending all this time making content and it's not getting a lot of views. I'm going to give you some thoughts that are going to help you through it. And it's really, really important. It happened to me this week because typically I post one video a day, and Julie decided while we were together, she was like, I'm going to take over your account and I'll post a few videos of you doing behind the scenes. So she was powering out some content on my TikTok, like in a row. And when we looked at them at the end of the day, they only had like 130 views each. Like one had 120, one had 130. And my account doesn't usually gets at a minimum 1,000, just because that's when mine stop. If they like don't do well, it's like 1,000 views. It's never usually 100 views. And I looked at her and I went, I don't know, maybe I'm shadow banned. And we were just laughing about it. But I said, okay, whatever. And I let it be. By the end of the day, I did have 1,000 views on those videos, but that's it. Again, I didn't have high view videos, and I must have posted like 4 in a row. And to me, I don't get bothered. And a lot of people get bothered. A lot of creators are bothered when they don't have views that are at least like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 when they have a large audience. And I have wrapped my head around it. I am unbothered. I am that person. I'm like, oh, well, let it sit. Maybe it'll get views in a month. I don't know. I don't delete my videos and I don't worry about it. And so here are a lot of the things that I think about and will help you through low views. So first is to focus on the loyal people that are following you, because usually you'll notice in the comments that those are the people on those low performing videos that are engaged and they are commenting and they're there for you and they're watching your content every day and they're seeing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So to be there complaining and moaning about low views to the people who are there for you every day, no, don't do that. It's not pleasant. If you start showing up like a complainer to your friends, you're not going to have friends. They're not going to want to hang out with you. Think about it in terms of real life. People show up at your house. If you're complaining about the people who didn't show up to the people who did show up, how are they going to feel? They're going to feel like, well, I guess I'm not important to you. And then you're going to have less friends. So just put it to real life and realize 100 people is a big room full of people. If I had 100 people in this hotel room right now, we would not fit in here. And that's a lot of people. I'm sorry. I know I sound like a broken record, but when it comes to this, but it's like really try and wrap your head around it. Really try and think about it in human terms and not get like panicked about it. The next thing is to take it as a challenge that you can try something new, because now a lot of people get overwhelmed when they have a lot of people watching their video and then they suddenly feel like they have to rise to an occasion or deliver a certain type of content, a certain level of content. And that spirals them into like spending more time, doing more. Sometimes it's more stressful for creators. So this is a good time to say, oh, well, yesterday I've let Julie post the videos for me. I was like, shoot me behind the scenes doing things and do whatever you want. And it was like very freeing to just let go of it and not worry about it not being the way I would normally post it. Or maybe it's not a trend I would have even thought to do. So I think that, a lot of people aren't going to have someone to post for them. I'm not suggesting that you can give your phone to someone and let them run over your account. I'm saying allow yourself to do something a little more irreverent, more unexpected, something totally different. It won't likely get a lot of views, because if you're typically getting a certain amount of views on a certain style of content, you probably won't get a lot of views on something different. Okay, so this is your time. Like, okay, it's not going to get a lot of views, so who cares? I'm going to post a video of me doing the crazy thing or me saying the thing that I wouldn't normally talk about. Okay, so use it as an opportunity. Think about any change in your account as an opportunity for growth or experimentation. Next is to realize that you're building an archive for future followers. So those videos that don't do well, and you could say, oh, I spent all that time and it's such a good video. It's going to be there so that when you do have a viral video that hits or something that gets more views and gets some attention, those new followers are going to scroll your page and they're going to find your other videos and they're going to see those videos that didn't get a lot of views. So you're going to be providing some content for them that adds to your story. So it's not just one thing after the next of the same type of content. Now you have, some videos in between that maybe didn't do so well and a lot of people don't know about. And there they are. They're also good to refer to later and remake them or repost them. Because if something doesn't get a lot of views, reposting them later is a good strategy, because you can figure, well, not a lot of people saw it. And the few people who did will understand. So aside from you're building a database, you're also aside from building, archive database, you're also building an archive for yourself to pull from that you can then repurpose, because it's low views, nobody saw it, whatever, I'll post it again. And it saves you time on another day. So that's a really, really strong one. Next is you can go back if you're in the low view jail, as everybody likes to call it. I don't mind it. I don't mind being in low view jail. I'll be honest with you. But if you're in low view jail and you don't like it, you can just recreate a high performing post from before. So take it as a time to go back and look at, you can sort your posts by most popular. And then you can look at your most popular ones and see if any of them make sense to redo. And then you can spend time recreating those posts. So that's a nice, easy thing to do, honestly. And it's just, you don't have to start worrying about how am I going to think of a new idea, because you're going to realize that buried down in the feed was something that did well, but it was so long ago. Now you have a lot of new followers that might enjoy it. And I have done this before with a stop motion video, and it was a very, very high performing video. And even when I redo that lesson, people who have seen that lesson were like, oh, I love when you teach this lesson. So they have seen it and they're seeing it again and they're still watching it and commenting on it. Okay. So if you have a high performing video, that usually tells you something. Your audience liked it. Maybe they'll want to be reminded or see it again or see it in a different way if you're recreating it. I will say that, and this is in the newsletter too, that going viral isn't always the answer. And I've talked about this. I had a whole newsletter dedicated to this and a podcast where I was frustrated because going viral was flooding my feed with comments from people I'm never going to see again. And I was missing comments and engagement from people who might actually want to hire me or join my studio. And I was not able to see those people because I was flooded. And when I say flooded, I had a 5 million video hit. And I was just like, when is this viral video going to end? Because it was so debilitating to my business of social media, whereas my community, I wanted to be able to interact with the people that I usually interact with. And they were like buried in the comments. I couldn't even find my usual people. It was really debilitating. And I was like, this is truly the downside of going viral. If you have any interest in that, you can probably find that episode if you haven't heard it yet. But I did go deep into why virality isn't really the answer for building a loyal following or sales and leads, because it's not. Virality is like a fly-by-night operation. You get people in and out quick, but you're not necessarily getting a loyal following of people unless you have a certain type of virality, like the We Do Not Care Club. She's probably getting a loyal bunch of followers that really care about the thing that she's talking about. But that's a needle in a haystack type of situation. You're more likely to be able to build loyal engagement with less people, not a million people. It's just the way it is. It's the reality, telling you the truth. Okay, the other thing is to remember, and this is the last key point, but it's also an important key point. And I remind myself of this all the time because I'll have a long stretch where my videos don't do that well. It'll be 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, and that's not well for somebody with 1 million followers. 1,000 is like low views. It's a very, very low percentage. So like 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, some 700, 800, bum, bum, bum. And then sometimes weeks it goes like that. And then I'll have one hit. Because I believe that these algorithms are cyclical in that way. And I think it's proof that we have like waves. And so you're on a down wave. The views are down. Okay, don't worry. Just keep posting, because eventually, just like the stock market, it goes down and it goes up and it goes down again. It's just like anything that has life. So social media has like its own life to it. It's a life form. And it's just going to just take its own, it's going to make its own way and find its own way. So just know that you're not alone in it. There's so many people who get low views. But again, if you are that person that's like, well, low views, those people who are seeing your videos probably going to be not your friends anymore. They don't want to hear you complain. It's a terrible way to scroll and see people. There is a particular creator I see. I'm not even going to call out any names, but the only time he comes up on my For You page is when he's complaining about low views. And that's the video that might get a few more views. And I'm thinking, my God, dude, you're always complaining about low views. Your content isn't even interesting. No wonder why no one's watching it. Because if your content is about complaining, how many people want to sit and listen to someone complain? You probably have enough of that in your real life. You don't need it in your social media life. So don't be the complainer. Be the joy bringer, the smile bringer, be the information disperser. Do something that's valuable to people, that they don't have to listen to you moan and groan, because nobody wants that. All right, so before I leave you, I will just let you know that this week in the studio, everyone is learning how to do loop action videos. And this is one of my favorite things, because as a production expert, the minute I see a loop video, and I go, oh my God, so clever. I know immediately how it was done because my background is production. I'm doing this for 40 years. I can see it immediately and I can recreate it immediately. And so this week I am breaking it down for everyone, and I have posted one and people are like, how? And I'm like, how is so easy. Just come into the studio and I'm going to show you how, and I'm breaking it down. So my people got the lesson this week. So thank you to all my studio creators who are coming through and showing their skills with loop action videos. And we have lots of new members. So our meeting on Friday, we're going to regroup and talk about the loop video action and the loop video speaking videos. So we're going to do a little recap on, in general, the strategy of looping your videos. And there's a lot of little bonus tips because it's not as simple as just, I could tell you take the end and put it on the beginning. There's other thoughts involved in how that works to make it perfectly looped. So yay, everyone's getting a bonus lesson on Friday. Can't wait to do our live meeting. If you guys are studio members and you're listening, you're going to have some fun with me on Friday because I have a little special thing I'm going to share when I'm back from Vegas. Coming in hot on the red eye, going to take a little nap, and then I'll be refreshed and ready for you. So this has been fun. I will give you a little insight into the whole Vegas thing. It's been a networking event as well as a content creation event, as well as spending time with a client who I've been friends with for so long. And Julie finally got to meet him in person. So she's getting a kick out of that, I think. I guess I'll find out soon. And then in the midst of it all, we're having like a little, I will call it a mini girls trip because we're having time together, just the two of us. She's helping me with the work stuff, and we're in this together in terms of the work, but also we're doing things in the evening together, and we're spending time just hanging out in a hotel room together. And it's just all the good, special times that I relish. So thank you to Julie, if you're listening. And thank you to everyone who is supporting us in the Socialize journey. We're loving it so much. And we both know that we're on a good path for making an impact and helping other creators feel seen. All right. I hope to see you very soon. And if you're not in the studio yet, if you want to try it out for 7 days free, you will definitely enjoy it. That's it for today. See you soon.